money, relationships, like things like I had major blocks to prior to doing this work, just started like changing, like literally overnight or in months. It was just like changing. Like I would be on the phone having conversations with people where, like, prior to doing the work, maybe I would have, I don't know how many conversations with someone, maybe in a week. I'm like, oh, I've had so many conversations, I'm not signing any clients, but then like I'm doing all this healing work, releasing all my beliefs around money, around clients, around work, stuff. And then I'm having like 5 conversations in a week or something, and then I'm closing like 3, and I'm like, wow, that is, and all from just changing my belief system and changing patterns, changing and I was like, wow, this is really amazing. So then I was like, wow, if I'm getting this results, what if I add this into my coaching practice for my clients? So that's when I was like, right, okay, I want to go learn how to be a practitioner, because then I can add this into my practice and see if I can really support my clients to even make bigger shifts. If I'm not only working with with a conscious taking action kind of brain, but actually let's go into the subconscious and release the root. And we can then take the action on top of that. And then suddenly when I became a practitioner and added that to my practice, the results my clients were getting were just like through the roof. Like it just, I was changing, they were changing. It just became like a real beautiful thing, which is why now I add energy work into my practice.
Wonderful. And having, we've been associated for 5 years now, and I think I'll say for almost 5 years we've worked very closely as well, probably up to 4 years. And the transition which we were seeing as part of being a crew supporting a very good friend of ours was like, okay, she's turning up different to, certain of these sessions. She's, normally Gozi is the kind of person who would say, I've not had my coffee, I've not had anything, don't talk to me. Blinkers on, right? And then here's all of a sudden Gozi turning up, all smiles, saying good morning, having conversations, and she's not even had her coffee.
Pre-coffee, people, pre-coffee, that's I'll tell you.
So it was, like a wonderful experience to see you changing, and we were like, right, we know something is going on, and we are loving what you're doing, so please continue doing that. Otherwise we would see a little bit of a stressed Gozi, and then we see not stressed Gozi, completely in control Gozi, knows bang, 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 this is what we need to do. Until that is not done, let's not start mingling it with fun. Once all that is over, bring the fun on, bring the conversations on, bring the whole party aspect on, because whatever we have done, it's never been like, okay, this is it, and we can't have fun, we can't kind of create a party atmosphere. It has so beautifully been incorporated in all the events which we have done, that it never felt like, what, oh my god, we are turning up and I just don't want to be here. It's been, a joy to watch you,
amazing. Thank you.
That first woman I met at Heathrow lobby to who you are right now, and
it's a journey, right? It's a journey. And I think it's really good to say that and to bring that up, because I want to invite anyone who's listening to this, watching this right now,
please,
back to that. Like it is a journey, and you have to like really honor the journey, and sometimes you will things will happen kind of like accidentally, you kind of want things accidentally, and sometimes. So I really feel like when I had that real like moment of oh wow, my soul was saying to me, I really need this. That was a real divine time moment for me. Like it had to happen. That was like it was gonna always happen that way. That day, that time is always gonna happen that way. And we could talk about divine timing as a different conversation, but when I talk about divine timing, and you can look at this for your own life, anyone who's watching right now, is there certain things that have happened to you that for sure, like you can look back on your life right now and you can probably spot 2 or 3 things and you're like, those were real turning point moments of my life. And a lot of people say, especially like parents will say when the kids come, it's a divine time moment. And yes and no, I'm not saying, obviously having kids changes your life, but I'm asking you to look at things that are like, maybe you met someone someday on a bus or a train and they said something and suddenly you were like, your mind went into a different space instead of thinking about things differently. Or you watched a movie at a specific time and suddenly you got this like real aha moment.
Yeah.
Things like that, because when I look back at all of that, I mean, obviously I still think I'd still be an awesome person without doing energy work. But it was such a divine time moment, because now I can't even imagine not doing energy work. And knowing that energy work has such a profound effect on me and also in the work that I'm doing. And, I look at my future now, I can see it. I can see that this work also has such a profound effect on impact on the work that I'm going to be doing.
Yeah, and there are some great testimonials as well, which I've read from your clients, and it's beautiful to see that, when they've taken on the energy work of Theta Healing, how it has impacted and changed their life for the better.
Yeah, I mean, different things. People come, so in case anyone's thinking, well, what can I go use Theta Healing for? Pretty much for everything and anything that you're going through in your life. I've had clients come to me to conceive, and they're able to conceive. In fact, I have a couple that just had their first child 2 months ago now, and I'm just like one of my happiest, one of my happiest.
That's the first baby of your Theta Healing journey.
Absolutely.
Oh, wonderful.
Absolutely. I've had people come to me with like really maybe detrimental, and I say detrimental because they've been like tons of debt, detrimental money mindset, being able to like find out what's been really going on, release that, and then suddenly they're like, and I say, so I had a client once, this is who had lots of assets tied up, couldn't have it released, hadn't had it released for 4 years, and to the point where couldn't even speak to the bank about it. They just weren't even hearing it. And we did 3 sessions, and I remember after like our 3rd session, one afternoon, we'd had the session, we'd done the work, and maybe like a couple of hours after that, she was like, Gozi, you're not gonna believe it. The bank just called me to say, where should we pay this money into?
Wow.
That where she said for 4 years couldn't even get them to like have a conversation about it, and suddenly they sent a message saying, where do we? So it sounds like I hear the skeptics already saying, what? Too good to be true. What do you mean? Let me tell you something. I'm just giving you tip of the iceberg story. There's so many things that will happen around you, and you'll just be like, and you're thinking, what I did was sit down in a session. Like, how could my life? You'd be surprised what blocks you're holding in your body, holding in your organs, holding in your aura, in your chakra space. You'd be surprised what you're holding that is really stopping you from living the life that you say that you want. So that's why for me, I love this work, and especially in the world of business, because for me, business and life are one and the same things. Some people don't agree, but I love it so much. It's my life. It's what I practice day to day, is like being the same person everywhere. So I practice the same person I am in my work and my business is the same person you get on screen. Here doing work, being at home with my family, and in that space, when you're helping people, supporting them to release negative, detrimental patterns that they've even thought this could never ever shift. Like, I'm not even sure, like, why am I even going to see Gozi or anybody, any practitioner, like, why am I even doing this? There's such an ingrained, it could never happen. And then when you start seeing things shift from just working on, because, the studies have shown 80% of success is your mindset, is what you believe, is what you think is possible. 80% of your success comes from this space. All right. And in this space as well is where we tap into the subconscious, and then it permeates through the body. you know, and then depending on what we're holding, where we're holding,
Yeah,
different things will start manifesting in your life,
absolutely.
right? And so if 80% of our success comes from the mindset and from our belief systems, then I'm like, right, let's go to work there. And for me, energy healing modality helps to clear that, so that we can then take that 20% that's also as important. It might be 20%, but it's just as important as the 80.
Absolutely.
Then you can take those strategic actions and then really start changing your reality. Like, and that's why I do what I do, because I love that whole process. I love it.
Yeah, I can see that. You know, when you speak about it, there's so much joy, and it literally is not just on your face. It's like, you know, there's a twinkle in your eye, your eyes are smiling, your whole being is completely different. So yeah, you know, I can sense that, and I know how much you love, not just through this work, even prior to whatever else you've done, you know, with the business aspect of it, and, you know, your journey. You've enjoyed every second of it, and it's, you know, been literally, again, I'm not going to apologize for saying this so many times in the video. It's a joy to watch you, you know, grow into, you know, your best version every single day. So we know that, you know, as human race, we've gone through some very, very tough times recently. And I found myself on certain days, you know, at the lowest ebb. And unless you are not able to do the work which you do with yourself, you know, like going inwards, introspecting, and, you know, seeing why it's hitting you at that level, whether it's personally or whether, you know, whatever is taking place globally, unless we haven't done a little bit of healing or our you know, development, whether that is through personal development, spiritual development, emotional development, you know, things can hit you very hard, you know, especially if you're an empath. And how has this helped you, you know, to be at that space where you have taken on board what is going on, and you've spoken very, very openly about it? You know, that is one thing we know, that, you know, when you need to speak about something, Gozi is honest, to the point, and it doesn't matter how other people perceive it, you know, because I've seen some people have said, oh, it's a little bit brutal, or, you know, it's too much honesty, it's too much. But the fact is that, you know, when you're hurting, that rawness needs to come out, right?
Yeah.
Because that is what touches us at a human level, at the connecting level. How do you manage to keep that going, you know, to bring that rawness out and say, okay, you know what, this is what I want to share, and I am okay with it, and everybody else who's around me, you know, it's not that you don't care, but the fact is that it needs to be said.
Yeah.
How do you deal if there are any fallouts? You know, I know how I deal.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that, especially with the fallouts which are there?
Okay.
You know, from you being so raw and authentic and honest,
Yeah.
that there's no apology about it, and there shouldn't be ever, you know.
Yeah,
so let's
absolutely.
make it clear, you know, to the people who are watching this and listening this, that, you know what, unless you are not authentic with the rawness, with the hurt and the pain, the chances are that you're not going to touch somebody 110%, right?
Yeah.
For me, that is how it works, that when I'm at my raw, at my honest and brutal, you know, I am literally impacting people more, I'm changing lives more